Ralo and Boosie, man, this is an unfortunate situation. These is two dudes that was friends. You know what I'm saying? They was cool. They was locked in. They got multiple records together. But recently, as of late, it's been some bullshit going on with them, man, and we gonna get into it now. This is a perfect example of why the internet and the streets are not a good mix, man. Everything that go on in the streets should not be on the internet. You know what I'm saying? The internet is a big place. It's a place with a lot of opinions. It's a place with a lot of different personalities. And some people agree and sometimes they disagree. But when you got something like snitching, all right, when you got things like crime being on the internet, I think we all can agree that it turns out bad 99% of the time. All right, now, before I get into the recent things that's been going on, this is kind of where they issues first started. You know what I'm saying? When Ralo went to prison, he tried to pull a quick one on the police, and I'm gonna explain this as best as I can. Now, I couldn't find the videos where he spoke on this or the call. I ain't had the time to find that, but if you're familiar with his situation, you already know what happened. He basically tried to lie to the police. Now, I spoke on this in another video that I had about Ralo on his Say Cheese interview. Ralo lied to the police. He told them that he was going to tell. He set up a meeting or whatever, and he lied. He didn't tell the truth. How do we know he lied? Because he didn't get released from jail. Okay? When people tell, it's obvious, man. It's obvious when people tell. When people tell, it's in their paperwork and it's in the people that they told on paperwork. So when y'all say that people told, but they do their whole sentence and they're not in nobody else's paperwork, I don't see how people can think somebody told who completed their whole sentence and they not in nobody's paperwork. To me, it seems obvious that he didn't tell. Think about it. He did an interview with the police. He agreed to sit down and talk to the police. He had the interview. Nothing else came from that. Okay, it wasn't even, I guess you could call it paperwork. I guess it was just a documentation. It was a documentation of the conversation he had with the police. Nothing came from that. Nobody else had this information. Okay, the information that he gave the police was useless. He lied. And I spoke on this in that same video. What Ralo did is what Lil Woody want us to think he did. Lil Woody told the truth, though. That's how he got out of jail. That's why he's committed so many violent crimes, but he's still in the streets. Okay, that's how that works. When you tell the police something, they check it. They see if you're telling the truth or not. You can't just tell the police something and then they let you go. And then they figure out you lied and they be like, dang, he lied. Oh, well, no, that's not how it works. When you cooperate with the police, they gonna make sure you telling the truth. Ralo lied to the police. He gave them some false information. He tried to pull a quick one and nothing came, and you know what I'm saying? Nothing happened. Nothing came from it. He didn't get released. So when that happened, it was a friend or ex-friend of his who came out and said Ralo was telling. All right, a lot of rappers distance themselves from Ralo. We seen this on the internet. We seen this on social media. Lil Boosie was one of the people who did. He distanced himself from Ralo. And he even spoke about it a couple times in interviews. He said things here or there. He tweeted about it, or he made Instagram posts about it, where he basically saying he was disappointed that Ralo had told. Now, everything is coming to light. We see Ralo served his whole sentence. Ralo has been out for a couple of months now. More, you know, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 months. I don't know for sure. The point is, he's been out long enough. If he was in somebody's paperwork, they would come to the forefront. They would let it be known that he's in their paperwork. He wouldn't be out this long, not in nobody's paperwork, man. That's the way telling goes. When you tell on somebody, you're in their paperwork. Even if you're not, it's in your paperwork that somebody told on you. So most people that's criminals can put 2 and 2 together. They'll read their paperwork, and by the information that the person who's telling gave, they can tell who it was that told on them. If I tell you something, tell me something, and I tell the police, even if I'm a confidential informant, the information and the conversation that me and you had is going to be in your paperwork. So they might not say, Steve said this or Steve said that. But if you're the criminal and I told on you, you're going to know who you had that conversation with. You're not going to need for it to say my name. You're going to know who you told that information to. You're going to know who you had the conversation with. Okay, that's the person who told. If I told Steve I shot somebody with an AK-47 and it's in your paperwork saying that a confidential informant said that you said that he shot somebody with an AK-47, you're gonna know it's me. I'm saying all that to say it's hard for somebody to tell on somebody and the person who they told on doesn't know. That kind of defeats the purpose of telling. The prosecutors need that evidence. So we haven't heard anybody say that Ralo told. The only person who said he told was somebody who was not on the case. Nobody on the case said he told. Nobody else has paperwork. So at this point, if you Lil Boosie, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, Boosie, you owe him an apology, man. I know it's hard as a man when you think you're doing something right and you and the person going back and forth, you stand 10 toes down, then you find out months later you was wrong. You done said stuff about him, he done said stuff about you. You done disrespected him, he done disrespected you. It's hard, I know it is, to apologize. But I think Boosie owe him an apology. If some come out months later that he told, I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. And Boosie will be right. And Ralo will be wrong. But at this point in time, Boosie's in the wrong. Okay, in my opinion, Boosie is in the wrong. He may have honestly thought Ralo told. He probably did. He truly thought he told. But he didn't. And when you wrong, you gotta make it right. You have to be accountable. You can't just not talk about the situation no more. Or that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people, when they're done wrong, they raise hell. But when they do people wrong, they just don't talk about it no more. They don't bring it up. They don't acknowledge it. Like a lot of people in the black community, they take pride in that. A lot of black people, have y'all ever heard a black person say, "Oh, I don't apologize, I just started being nice again"? That's a problem. In my studies and the things that I read, that's a sign of low self-esteem. And I'm not preaching to nobody, but I do read a lot of books, and I share what I read. I like to talk about what I read. People who do that, I'm not saying everybody who do that got low self-esteem, but in the psychology and the self-esteem books that I read, when you do that, that's a sign of low self-esteem. You embarrassed, and you don't want to admit that you're wrong. I'm not saying Boosie has low self-esteem. I'm just saying in the black community, that's a thing. People being proud of not apologizing. People saying, I don't apologize, I just start acting nice again. You know, it was a meme where they say that's how black parents apologize. They just say, you want something to eat. Or are you hungry? That's a sign of low self-esteem. I'm just a messenger. A doctor said that. I'm not a doctor, but I read a lot of books written by doctors, and that's what they say. But the point that I'm making is, Boosie, let's get into it. Let's get into it. This is the original. This is the original, not this. This was a post that Boosie made in 2023. He was saying some things about Ralo, and he made this post. This was in 2023 when Ralo was locked up. Boosie said, "You know what you did, nigga, and it's eating you up inside." Shaking my head. "It's never gonna leave you, nigga. The real know you a rat. It's official. Take your lick and tell the real niggas you sorry, like you told your co-defendant you was sorry. What you think Scuba say about what you did, nigga? Ask yourself that question." Now, the dude that he said he was sorry to, the video that I seen, that was not his co-defendant. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong video. The video of the guy that I seen exposing Ralo, or quote unquote exposing Ralo, he wasn't even on the case. He wasn't even on the case. So that's what Boosie said in 2023. Now, this was the first things that Ralo said about Boosie recently. They got Boosie to respond, because Boosie never addressed. It was no paperwork, and Ralo did his whole sentence. If you told on somebody, why did you do your whole sentence? You might as well just not told. But this is what Ralo said about Boosie when he first was released.
I'm focused on signing artists and being a CEO of a label. Like, I'm gonna get old one day. I ain't trying to be on stage like Boosie rapping when he 40, 50 years old. I ain't trying to be doing that. I want to pull up like Birdman with my artists up. Pull up like QCP with my artists up. Or you know, the other side. You know, all them, say that name. I don't care. But I don't answer to nobody but God. You hear me? I do not answer to nobody but God. So this tongue right here, this shit might say some shit that you probably just be like, oh trip. I don't answer to nobody but God. So, and then I'm gonna say some pious shit. I'm gonna do the right thing by the people. I ain't gonna say no old bad shit. But I might slip and say some shit, you know what I'm saying? But they don't mean turn. I ain't telling y'all this follow the boots or nothing against me. I ain't telling y'all to do that. I'm gonna do the right thing.
So that was his initial remarks about Boosie. And when he said the other side, I'm guessing he meant Yo Gotti. I don't know for sure, but that is a CEO who doesn't have to rap. Yo Gotti raps because he enjoys rapping. But he's mainly a CEO. So I'm guessing that's who he's talking about when he said the other side. Now, Boosie responded to that. Boosie responded to that with this. He said, I have not spoke on you in years. Ralo, you still hurt by what you did. What you did. LOL. I'm grateful that I'm still making $150K a weekend and selling out shows. You don't have a rap career and will never have one. And you're right, you should be a CEO, because one thing you can't do is make music. God did not give you that talent. Leave hip hop alone. Every other month you mentioning me, shaking my head. Get me off your mind and stop using my name for clout. You got my line if you want to tell me something. I'm the same nigga did a verse and video for free for you when you was locked up and refused to take the 10K. You was trying to pay me. You get no points for that shit, for shit like this. Anyway, I'm about to listen to these beats and make some music. I just hope you're not doing the same thing. So Young Gotti is taking shots at his rapping ability, saying that he can't rap. Lil Boosie, I don't know why you still calling him a rat, basically. You saying you still hurt about what you did. Boosie, and I know the title of this video is the streets of the internet shit mix. But Boosie has to explain how he told. And let me not say has to. He don't have to do anything. I would like for Boosie to explain why he still thinks Ralo told. Maybe he put me onto something. Maybe he can inform me. Maybe he can tell me something that I don't know. Because I don't know why he think Ralo still told. Now, the last thing we about to get to. The next clip we about to watch is Ralo. And what Ralo is doing, I think Boosie should accept this challenge and end this once and for all. This is why the internet and the streets should not mix. If Boosie thought that Ralo was a rat, he should have called him before he went to the internet. Because it's been too many insults exchanged at this point. Boosie can't apologize now. I mean, he can. That would be the mature adult thing to do. But once you trade this many insults with a person, most men are not going to want to apologize. They're going to feel like they're being weak in public. Now, let's say Boosie thought in his mind that Ralo was a rat this whole time, but he never posted it. And Ralo got out and they spoke. I bet you Boosie could apologize to him in private then. He probably wouldn't feel no way. He could probably be like, man, you know what? I thought that was true. I thought that stuff on the internet was true. I'm so glad to see that that's not true. I'm so glad we can make music together and go to the strip club together and drink and smoke together again. I thought that. I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad I was wrong about you. If he never would have went to the internet, that would have been a very easy conversation to have, probably. But because he went to the internet and they both have publicly disrespected each other, it's going to be hard for Boosie to have that conversation now. So, after this, this is a recent post by Boosie. This is how Ralo responded.
I got the paperwork. Nobody else ain't got the paperwork. Me, I got the paperwork. I know what I did. I can show you what I did.
Now, right there by him saying nobody else got the paperwork, that means he not in nobody else's paperwork. If he told on somebody, he would be in their paperwork. That's basically what I meant before. If you tell on somebody, whoever's on your case will know. Not only will they know, they will have proof. It will say it in your discovery packet. Who the prosecutor's witnesses was. What evidence the prosecutors have to charge you with a crime?
I got the paperwork. Nobody else ain't got the paperwork. Me, I got the paperwork. I know what I did. I can show you what I did. Show you what occurred. And if you don't believe me, I can go right here. We can go to this courthouse together, and I'll print that in front of you, nigga, from the clerk. We can print that in front of you, in front of the clerk, and see that Ralo tell on anybody, and see what really occurred, nigga. That is what you're talking about. But guess what? I can tell you 1,000 on me, and ain't none of y'all did that about it. And by the way, let me tell you something. If I would have did some shit, who would have did something? Who did something? Y'all got dudes around this that took the stand, that's real snitches, not none of this, oh, it's Ralo. Real people that have really told on people that took the stand, that's really telling on video and all that, and y'all ain't did nothing to them. Y'all ain't did nothing to him. And we started screaming, free the bro, and free this, but his man around here who told on him, and we ain't did, nobody ain't did that to him. So why would you think my power, a dude of my caliber would give a that type of shit? I ain't throwing Wooda up on no bus, so y'all keep putting Wooda, all of those stuff. And I ain't gonna say nothing bad about him, and I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Gunner. But I am gonna say, if you so gangster, y'all ain't did nothing. None of them. Time I see a Ralo or rat comment, I get mad.
Now, he being honest right there. And he said he not taking shots at Woody, he not taking shots at Gunner, but he does have a point. He does have a point. What they did is their business. It has nothing to do with him. But I get what he's saying. He's saying it's other people who cooperated with the police. It was confirmed that they cooperated with the police. No matter how y'all want to say it, or no matter how you try to slice it, Gunner cooperated with the police. Now, he didn't take the stand. He didn't point anybody out. But him saying YSL is a gang, that is cooperating with the police. It was people in my comments that was arguing, you know what I'm saying, to the death. That's cooperating, man. And I like Gunna. I'ma still listen to his music. I don't think what he did hurt Young Thug that bad. But we gotta be real about the way the judicial system works. That is helping the police. Maybe the police just wanted that for the cosmetics of it and the optics, to just add another person, you know, and you know, the prosecutors may have forgotten about that because he didn't take the stand. He didn't say anything, you know, incredibly damaging. He didn't say anything about any specific crime. But if you're on a gang indictment and you tell the judge that the gang that you're associated with is a gang, then you cooperate with the police. And obviously, Woody, you know, he is the police, basically. Either way, I don't think Ralo was taking a shot at them. He was just using an example. And for him to say, Boosie, we can go to the courthouse, I printed out in front of you at the courthouse, I print this out in front of you. Why would Boosie not at least have a discussion about doing that? And the only reason that I'm saying that is because they were friends before. They had a relationship, a friendship before. Now, if this is a random person, no. I mean, I would understand why Boosie wouldn't want to be invited, even if whether he was right or wrong. I can understand why he wouldn't care at this point. But the fact that this was his friend, you know, it's a lot of pictures of them together. Way more than I thought it would.
Find the artist and big.
It's a lot of pictures of them together. They was really chilling and hanging together a lot at one point. So He said he'll go to the courthouse. He said he'll print up the paperwork in front of the clerk. And the reason he said that is because he want Boosie to know it's not nothing doctor. All right? He'll print it up in front of the clerk, get it hot off the press, and let Boosie read it. If Boosie doesn't respond to that, I mean, he probably just embarrassed about being wrong, man. And when you in a situation like that, where you talk shit about somebody, you talk about somebody like that. I've been in that situation before where somebody has said something to me, or they said something was gonna happen and it didn't happen, and they're actually even madder now because they embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? So get in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. I think Boosie should take Ralo up on his offer. I think he should go with him, print up the paperwork, and you know, get to the bottom of this so he can see it for himself, because they were cool at one point, man. But y'all get in the comments and let me know, how do y'all feel about street stuff being on the internet, man? I feel like this stuff is getting out of hand. And hopefully they can resolve this, man. Urban Artificial Intelligence Strategic Thinking Platform. I'm going to see y'all on the next episode. Peace.